Hello everyone and welcome to ComputerTechTV. Today's video I will be having a look at the high-speed PC top deck tech station, and you can see here I have all the parts that are included laid out. Okay, here's what all comes in the box, and you have your instructions as well to the right. You have the included 120mm fan. You have your brackets here for power hard drive LEDs and the switches to turn everything on and off. And this is the standard. This is actually an optional kit here. This is the standard ATX control kit. It has the short buttons and switches and everything there. And you have your standoff kit here to mount your motherboard. And you also have all your screws and other things to mount all the stuff up to the tech station. This is your PCI slot expansion card holder here. This actually mounts off these two posts here, like right up about there. And you have two rails here, and these are for, they can fit two hard drives, 3.5-inch hard drives. And then you have four upright posts, and these are the main ones that support everything on the top deck. So now what I'm going to do is put this all together, and then I'll let you guys know what I think. Alright, well, I've got the tech station assembled. Now let me give you guys a few close-ups, and I'll show you some features and what I like and what I dislike. Starting at the bottom and working our way up, here you can see they have four rubber feet. They are attached to the lower deck with screws that go through to the posts here that actually hold the upper deck in place. And these are very nice pieces here. They do raise it up off of the whatever surface you're working on by about 3/4 of an inch. However, since there's no fans on the bottom, it doesn't really matter. It could be sitting flat. But for this being mounted on a table, this will really come in handy. On the lower deck, they include a non-slip neoprene pad, so when you put all your power supply and all your other accessories down below, they won't slide around if you happen to have to move the tech station. Alright, looking at the underside of the top deck, you can see there's two acrylic rails, and these are for holding two 3.5-inch hard drives. Just slide them in there, and there's actually a stop on this right side up against where the fan is. And as you can see here, they clearly label this, so you can tell exactly where it goes. I mean, they do give directions, but it just gives you a really good idea of where stuff's supposed to be located. Here's the included 120mm cooling fan. It bolts onto the side with some angle brackets, very simple installation. Also comes with a chrome fan grill to protect your fingers when you're moving around and working with the tech station. You don't want to stick your fingers in the fan. Very nice move there. And then they provide a sleeved cable on that fan that has plenty of length on it, so you should be able to reach any place on the tech station that you need without problems. And then power is provided with a 3-pin and 4-pin Molex connector. This is the top deck of the tech station. You can see here they have screw-in rubber mounts for where your motherboard will sit. And in the back there on the left and the right, those are actually nylon bolts that thread through from the bottom. And that is what actually holds your motherboard in place. So if you do happen to move it, there won't be a problem with the motherboard wanting to slide off. And the reason that they put these two in the back instead of having them staggered is because the PCI slot support rail here will hold the video cards down, which will hold the motherboard down. So it's a great idea. Here's the expansion card support bar. It is made of the same type of non-conductive polymer that the rest of the tech station is made from, and it is molded in white, which could easily be painted if you so please, but it's a little bit flexible, and I was kind of worried about that at first. However, after reading through some stuff on their website, it's actually built to be flexible, so it's easier to install the cards. And they have plastic thumb screws here. There's 7 of them that are provided. However, I'm sure you could modify this to maybe fit an 8. Now there's two different ways that you can power on and monitor your hard drive and power on status. And standard is the ATX control kit, which is these short switches and LEDs that just go right on there in place of what you would normally have as your front panel wires. Optional you can purchase is the ATX power bracket, which is very nice. See here, it's just a PCI slot bracket, and it provides a good length of connector cable there, and then those just plug into where your front panel connectors would go. So that's a different option for you. Alright, well, here's my hardware installed on the high-speed PC top deck tech station. I didn't do the greatest job of cable management, but I just wanted to get it all together to show you guys what some hardware actually looks like on the tech bench itself. Installed on here is a Gigabyte 990 FXA UD5 motherboard, an AMD Phenom 2 X2555 CPU, Gigabyte GTX 550 Ti overclocked edition video card, a Seasonic X760 power supply, just a generic SATA CD DVD burner, and a Western Digital 1 terabyte SATA 6 gigabit per second hard drive. Everything went in without a hitch. The nylon standoffs that hold the motherboard down work very well. I have not yet fired it up yet to test the cooling fan, however I will do that. Here's a quick close-up of the top deck, show you guys what everything looks like. And here's a close-up of the lower deck. So you get the power supply, all your cables, optical drive, and your hard drive slides in here. The only downside I can say besides the space issue on the bottom, which like I said for most people isn't going to be a big deal, however if you do have a lot of stuff that you plan to put on this, then you might want to look at one of their larger versions. The height requirement for mounting the power supply sideways, you can do it, however you can only do it between the rails here because these rails are too low, so you can't actually fit the power supply sideways. However, it is wide enough that it'll fit the power supply if you want to slide it in this way. Other than that, the hard drive mounting, it's a really nice idea, but I might add some rubber strips maybe on the side of the hard drive because it is kind of loose in there. I don't want the hard drive to be moving around at all, vibrating. But like I said, not a big deal. It's not like the hard drive's going to fall out. And the rubber neoprene pad works good, as well as the rubber feet. They work amazing. This thing does not want to move hardly at all, given it does have some weight on it, but the rubber feet work very nicely. You can see here the gap that they give you for airflow under the motherboard. See how your PCI Express PCI slot area works. And the cables, like I said, they're just kind of thrown in there. So now let's fire this thing up and then we'll see how it runs. Okay, so I've got the tech station up and running, and I'm not sure if you guys can hear over the sounds outside, but this thing is silent. The only thing I can hear is the hard drive itself. Everything else is totally silent. I'll give you guys a real quick close-up here to show you guys exactly how quiet this fan is. Although it does push a good amount of air, I will say that, and that's probably partly because it only has a fan grill to go through. It doesn't have a case or mesh or anything else like that, so it can be a lower CFM and still push a good amount of air. So let's give you a close-up. And I'm about a foot away, and you probably can't hear the fan whatsoever. I can. It's slightly audible, but it's definitely nothing that I would complain about. And the amount of airflow is definitely good. I mean, I can feel it all the way over the heatsink. You can even feel some over here a little bit. It's definitely a good fan. Okay everyone, well I've given you guys a look around the tech station, got all the hardware installed on it. Now I want to let you guys know my final thoughts and conclusions for this tech station. Now overall, this is an amazing tech station. It's got a few little things here and there, but like I said, they make multiple versions of this so you can fit any kind of hardware or setup you want. Basically, you could even put water cooling on this, and you know, there's so much stuff you can do with this. And it's open air, gives you a lot of room to work. Cooling is adequate for this model. Like I said, the other models have different setups for cooling and stuff like that. Easeability of installation definitely was easy. I mean, I didn't even have to really read the directions or anything to install this hardware. It was very simple. Building it was very easy. However, the instructions were kind of confusing. I just kind of laid everything out, looked at some pictures online, watched a video or two of somebody who put one together, and I pretty much figured out from there. So if you look at the instructions before you start actually looking at the parts themselves, you will get kind of confused, but it's easy to kind of just put 2 and 2 together, and you know, you'll fit it together quite easily. The directions help, but like I said, for a beginning computer builder or someone who's never built a tech station, it might be a little confusing. So if you guys do have problems, be sure to, you know, just check online or send an email to HSPC. So rounding out the video, I just wanted to say this is a great tech station for the price. I would highly recommend it to someone who is looking into getting into having a tech station, or if you need a temporary solution and you don't have the tools or the time or the money to get the parts to build your own. This is definitely a good solution. And like I said, once again, is check their site online. They have several different models that you can fit all different sizes of motherboards, hardware underneath, more fans, stuff like that. So you guys let me know what you think of this video. Please leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below the video or send me a personal message. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and you guys all have a great day. Lots more videos to come.